I was just outraged when I discovered the lack of practical help available to parents of abducted children. I just couldn't believe in this day and age that if your child is abducted and you go to the British government, your own government, and you say, help, my child has been abducted, they could say, sorry, nothing we can do. I just couldn't believe it.
Wendy, tickets, insurance, visa, passport.
But there is something that can be done, and Karina Simcock does it, together with fellow journalist Anne Jussif. Simcock and Jussif's concern for the plight of mothers of abducted children has led them to ignore the Foreign Office and deal directly with the appropriate authorities abroad, whether or not Britain has diplomatic relations with that country. The success of their private citizens' diplomacy has confounded the bureaucrats. Against all odds, they're taking 7 British mothers to visit their abducted children in Libya. It's a major achievement, but understandably not without tensions. Some of these mothers have been trying to see their children for years.
I just thought, I can go into Libya and bring them back so easily. I just thought it was so easy. And she said, if the children are in Libya, you'll never, ever get them out of Libya and you might never see them again.
He told me that now we'd got both the children in the country, that they were never going home again. I just wanted to kill him. I hated him so much.
You can't believe that your child's been taken and then there's nowhere you can go to say, please help me and my daughter, you know, just let me make sure she's all right, because it's like she's been taken to the unknown.
Annie and I have been negotiating this for about 18 months now. The response from the Libyan authorities when we explained why we were here was incredibly cooperative. It seems that they'd just never been told about these children. It seems that the British government hadn't actually told them about these children, and considering some of them have been here for up to 10 years, I find that quite extraordinary. But the Higher Committee for Children, as soon as we started negotiating with them, the attitude was, well, of course these mothers have a right to see their children. So in all these years that the mothers have been told that as Western women they have no rights in Libya, it seems that nobody had actually bothered to ask the Libyans.
Well, a PR stunt. Well, I think anything the Libyans do in the British press is interpreted in that way. And I think, you know, you have to look at it fairly. I mean, they are going to want to be recognised as the first country who have done this. And certainly, I mean, there's a photo opportunity there.
The trip has been organised through the Libyan Higher Committee for Children, headed by Naima Sair. It was agreed with her before the visit that the mothers would spend their time here alone with their children, without interference from the fathers who abducted them. But the Libyans have changed the rules.
The fathers are actually going to be around. The father's going to be staying in the same seaside resort. Naima, all members of her department, have met all of the fathers, and the fathers are very happy about this access visit. So we have Naima's assurance that the fathers will cause you absolutely no problems at all. But if we want to have any chance of having the children back in the UK for holidays, then clearly we have to communicate with the fathers. We have to try and sort out some sort of agreement. That's not going to happen by not seeing them. So is everyone happy about that? Yeah? Okay.
The fathers who abducted the children in the first place are being offered the same deal as the mothers, 3 weeks free accommodation in this holiday village outside Tripoli. The visitors from England are uneasy about the new arrangements.
Just hoping that they turn up at the end of the day.
And we're worried actually with the fathers entering the complex that we might bump into them and spoil the big occasion for everybody else, you know, tonight, the reunion. So
I don't know how anybody else feels, but I just want a clearer picture of what's going to happen.
Well, I've already seen my ex-husband last night after I got here, so I know he's here.
هو القصد منا امتصاص هذه الصدمة حتى لا تظهر.
Ms. Naina said she would like to make this meeting between the fathers and the mothers so they can deliver and they can discuss the problem maybe and they can let them be angry at that point, as long as they don't deliver to the children.
It's a brilliant idea, but it's the timing between, it's nearly 4 o'clock, between now and 7:30. You're saying that we have to arrange meetings between the fathers and the mothers.
And then
private
between the
meetings
mothers and
between the children and mothers. It's a lot of emotional travelling to do in a very short space of time.
What time do you propose to call the meeting
تقول
between
لك
the
ان
mothers and the
الفكرة
fathers?
جيدة وجميلة، وجهة نظرك جميلة، ولكن عامل الوقت، هل ممكن تعملين على توزيع الوقت؟ لأن الوقت تقريبا 2 أو 3 فقط. هل تستطيع أن توزعي مثلا اللقاء؟
ممكن 6 ننتهي من لقاء الآباء، 6:30 نلتقي بالآباء والأمهات.
She has told all the fathers to be here at 5 o'clock.
If we couldn't see them here, we wanted to come and visit.
Diane was already estranged from her husband, Otman, when he snatched their toddler on a weekly access visit 4 years ago.
I will be glad, for you to come over again.
It's difficult because we was told initially that the children was going to be brought to us and to be left. And you have that in your mind, and when you come and then things are so totally different, you feel out of control, and you feel a little bit like when you was actually married, in my case anyway, that he's in control again. I spent 8 months in a refuge for battered wives.
How will she recognise me? She
will. She will. You was now in the...
Well, she recognised me because they look, there's your mother. And then she think, oh, you must be my mother. Mama! Sumaya! Hello. Hello, Mama. أيوة. Christmas. Nana. Nana.
بصي ماما بصي ماما بصي ماما زين.
أبو بكر. حسن
Sumaya is looked after by an aunt. In the past, the family had a close relationship with Diane.
This is Mama. That's my sister.
This is Mama. This is Mama. Beautiful, isn't she? Can you be cool? Hello.
Sumaya, yes, mommy hug.
She's already giving me a kiss. She's on a shirt. Baba. Bye, Mama. Go بصي ماما. شكرا.
Wendy has 2 sons. Hasham is 12, Jamal 6. Jamal has no recollection of England.
If her don't come today, we go to Benghazi tomorrow.
So I'll have to pack.
لو في لا سمح الله في أي شيء ليش نوعدها إنه نقول أنا مستعدة يعني.
With some of the children already here, Pauline is suddenly told that her husband and daughter will not be among the arrivals.
No, I'm not lying, but I know how difficult it is because
No,
I try to
worry.
see my
Really,
daughter and I can't.
Believe us.
I don't sit in England not doing anything.
That's why you visit Libya.
Yeah.
That's why.
I know how hard it is. That's why I'm worried.
If you want, you can bring her from Benghazi to here to Libya.
The family will not let me bring her here.
Don't worry
That's why
about
I
her
had
family.
A big problem.
Don't worry about her family. Really, believe us.
I know the family.
Don't worry.
You know Benghazi is 1,000 kilometers from her.
هي تقول إن المشكلة.
No, I travelled there.
She was
I
there.
think Layla Mafish.
No, you can call her.
Can I call her? Yeah, that
عندكم
would
تقدروا
help if I
تتصلوا بها
could.
لأن تكلمت توا هي معتقدة إن ليلى صار لها شيء معها.
المشكلة لا المشكلة شنو هي ما عندهاش هاتف.
Oh, I knew it. The night before, she's not going to be here. She'll be able to cope with it better. They're scared that if she comes here, she's going to open her mouth and tell the bloody truth.
So that's why they don't want her to come?
They're not saying that. They're saying there's no problem. There is a problem because she's not here.
What? How do they know that she's not on her way here? What has made them to come here and tell
Her
you?
father has disappeared.
And is she still in Benghazi?
I think so.
We were told that she'd be here.
Yeah, he said that all the plans have changed, that we have to go
Well,
to
that's not good
Benghazi.
enough. We've been told to be here at 6:30 to speak to the husband. It's no good telling us at 2:45 that the plans have changed.
Well, yours will be fine. It's just
yeah, but
me.
it's not. I'm not just worried about me, Paul.
We don't want we don't want our children to go.
And if they can
yours
tell you
yours
that,
to
and then
stay.
they've changed their minds at 6:45, what else are they going to do?
Denise's husband snatched their 3 children while the whole family holidayed together in Tunisia 4 years ago.
Sweetheart.
Christine's children are reunited with their English grandmother and taken to meet their new half-brother by Christine's second marriage.
Who's this? Come to see you. No. Oh, no. Say hello. Who's this? Come to see you. Say hello to the baby.
Hello.
Ah. Layla, do you want to hold him? Jacob.
Lovely to see you. Oh, he's just been woken up from sleep, poor darling. Tell you about this sleep.
Oh, I think Adam's seen something that he thinks might be for him. That's for Layla, that one.
Since the children were taken 4.5 years ago, they've never lived together in the same house. They live a few miles away apart. And my ex-husband has remarried and had 2 more children since. And he took Jamal with him. Jamal was only 2 at the time. It's quite different now. But Isham was left with the grandmother, and he's basically very unhappy there. I'm very anxious about the conditions he lives in, because they're not good at all. Basically, Isham lives in a room and he's got a solitary existence. When I came, I thought it was good, because everything I wanted, they brought it for me, because I was just came. And it was really good, yeah. And they brought me to the beach, they did everything for me. But then everything came to be not very good. And I thought I was in a prison. He said he wants me to be a Muslim, he wants me to be good. So he brought me here, and then he said, when you're big, you can go to England and do what you want.
Tonight is also the celebration of the birthday of the Prophet Muhammad. But for one mother, the celebration is already over.
I've seen him about 20 times in one day.
The policy of having the fathers here has claimed its first casualty.
Don't be quiet, I'll take these children away. He said it doesn't matter about you and this Naima, you can both go to hell. And I came in here and his wife and him arguing, weren't they?
Yeah. And his wife was having a go at her,
and me and him as well. No, we last hotel they had to get security because we wouldn't leave them alone.
This is different this time. This is being organised by the Higher Committee for Children's Needs, so you've got to trust them to take care of the problem.
But what am I going to do if he knocks on my door or something? I couldn't see him, he's done it before.
It's not going to happen. This has never been officially organised before. This is the first time that this has been officially organised.
These whole scenes are upsetting the children tremendously. I mean, we can't have every day Denise having an argument in the corridor in the restaurant with her husband and his new wife. She was really quite hostile. I mean, I saw that myself. I mean, it's an intolerable situation. It has to be solved.
You would buy the bus when she got off. When we came to breakfast this morning, you were sitting on the next table.
Well, exactly.
Lunchtime, you were sitting on the next table.
That's right.
Yeah, you were all the time you've been around. She's seen you about 20 times.
No, but I
today.
didn't mean that. I mean, my room is only 10 meters away, and
Right.
we live in the same. It's a tourist village.
So we.
Anyway, I've got to say goodbye now. It's getting too much. This. Okay. I mean, I'm sorry to.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Samaya. Happy birthday to you. Hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray!
blow the candle,
She was so unselfish. When she had that cake, everybody else had to have cake before she had cake. She didn't have any of that birthday cake until the very end.
You know, I mean, it's not my little girl anymore. She's, you know, their little girl. So.
But was Samaya happy?
Oh, yes. Yeah, very happy. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the main thing, isn't it? As long as she's happy.
It hurts, but you'll overcome it. As the more you keep seeing her, you will overcome certain things you'll begin to accept. I mean, they sat there loving you and kissing you and all being nice to you, but they've been hurtful. They've not thought about it. I know they've turned around and said, oh, we'll die if you take her away from us now. But if you can be diplomatic about it. But they didn't think how hurt you felt when you were sat at home in England breaking your heart around at your mother's. You know, and running around like mad, wondering where she was. You've not lost her forever because you sat there with her now, touching her and loving her. You didn't think that last week, you thought you'd never see her again. Today, at 9:30, he said he will come, yes?
Yeah.
And he's not here, and it's now 11:30.
Yeah.
You know, I'm waiting for my daughter to come. Her father is working away. It's no problem, her father not here.
Yeah,
but Aisha should be here. The grandfather can bring her. It's not a
العائلة
problem.
كلها مقيمة في قرية على البحر غادي في مصراتة. لأن إجازة الصيفية تعرفين إحنا عادة في أغسطس قلنا نطلعوا بقى خارج طرابلس.
But they said to you that they are living far away from Tripoli in Misrata.
He is working in Masrata, but Aisha's not in Masrata. Aisha's in Gagaj.
Yes, I know. He said I'm in holiday. They are in holiday in the summer. That's why they are in Misrata.
No, I don't believe this. This is not true.
Yeah,
this is
that's
not
what
true.
she
He's
said.
causing a problem for me here. It's cost a lot of money for me to get here, and I want to see her today.
قولها إن شاء الله بإذن الله.
Sure they will be here.
Yes, after today, if not, I am going to their house.
قولها لا لأن أصلاً.
No need for that. I'm sure
hope
they'll
not.
bring her.
The morning after the reunion sees only 4 of the 7 families reunited. While these mothers get to know their children again, the others face mounting anxiety. Like Pat, Pauline and Sharon still await the arrival of their children.
I'm just waiting for Layla to come. She was supposed to be on an aeroplane last night at 8 o'clock, but then she couldn't because of the festival and problems with aeroplanes. And then she was supposed to come this morning at 7:30. I think it was on a 7:30 flight, but she's still not come. And now we've been told 12, so just have to wait and see.
I believe my children will come, but I think my ex will do it in his time just to prove he still has control over them. But I think they will come.
What is his problem? Why doesn't he just turn up decently and have a 2-week visit and let me go home peacefully and he'd carry on with his life. Whatever it takes to find that girl of mine, I will find her. You know, and it's just the end of it. You know, I can accept that she lives here, but I'm her mother and I have to have time with her. And I will find him, wherever he is.
Well, at least this time
I've got
a
proof
team
of it
on your
now.
side.
I've got proof of what he keeps doing.
Should we go and find Dad or go and have a word with Naima now? Yeah? Okay. I know it's a horrible time. Just keep it
You
together.
know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when it first happened. I've expected it before, and when it first happened, this is what it was like.
We're going to get it, Mum. We're going to get it.
Despite brave faces, the visit isn't going entirely according to plan. The unscheduled presence of some of the husbands has been a mixed blessing. The Libyan authorities can't shake off the accusation that they have failed to deliver all that they promised. 3 of the mothers have yet to see their children. In an attempt to mend the growing public relations rift, the Higher Committee has laid on a celebratory dinner party with special guests. But the atmosphere is far from relaxed.
باسم الأطفال على شرف الأمهات هذا الحفل البسيط حفل العشاء.
On the behalf of the children, we made this wonderful night for all the children.
كذلك أشكر السيد براون مدير مكتب رعاية المصالح البريطانية بالجماهيرية العظمى.
I would like to thank Mr. Alison Brown from the British section in Libya.
وأقول لهم نزلتم أهلا وحلفتم سهلا داخل جماهيريتنا الحبيبة.
I would like to tell them, please welcome and welcome in Great Jamahiriya.
وليلة سعيدة.
And good night.
And the third one is, and this is possibly the most important, try and thrash out some sort of access agreement whereby they can come back to the UK for holidays. Well, if we could achieve that, that would be enormous. Do you think that would be enormous? Do you think that would be good?
Wonderful if you can pull it off.
Obviously, if we do that, then we'll need to work closely with the British government to try and draw up things like return orders to make sure that children do come back to Libya.
Alan Brown, a British diplomat, is a special guest at the celebration dinner. The man from the Foreign Office is supposed to look after the interests of British citizens here. Some mothers find that ironic.
You're so matter-of-fact in everything, and it's just so unfair. It's wrong.
I vividly remember the 7 hours you spent in our office. And my vice-consul did his best for you and persuaded your husband to allow the child to leave the country. You went to the airport, as I recall, and it was at the last moment that your husband changed his mind.
But you were supposed to be in control of the situation. When is somebody going to wake up and ask these children, because they're old enough to be asked? My son is 12 years old. He's lived in England for 8 years. And he's lived in Libya for 4 years. He knows where he wants to be. But nobody will ask him. Nobody will listen to him. He is a person. He's got rights, he's got feelings, he's got emotions. Why is he just being ignored? It's totally unfair.
Ask his father.
But why aren't the government doing anything to help us? And you calmly sit there and say that they are. But every time
we're not able to change Libyan law. That's a matter for the Libyan.
All right, you say the Foreign Office are helping us. The first year my children were here, at the Christmas, writing to the Foreign Office and asking them if there was any way that I could get presents to my children for Christmas. And I've got a very nice letter back saying no, there's nothing they can do.
The Foreign Office is not in the business of delivering mail, I'm afraid. That's a short answer to that.
That's what I mean about you, see. So there's no heart, there's no feeling, there's no caring, no compassion.
No, all I want is for some time in the day on my own. I'm very happy for her to be at night with you.
I didn't say to you no.
I know that.
I didn't say to you no.
You didn't say no, you didn't say yes.
All right, I said to you okay, and you can have her.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right?
Thank you.
You have her anytime you want, and she's staying with you at the same place.
On my own?
On your own, whatever.
Sumaya.
You have her.
Sumaya. In the day? In the day?
In the day, in the evening, anytime you want.
Right, tomorrow morning then after breakfast I take Sumaya?
You take her from tonight if you want.
She needs to be with you at night.
Sumaya, right? Stay with Mummy tonight, all right?
You make a scene, you upset her. You do that. You love her so much you want to do this to her.
I'll see you in the morning, yeah?
Come on. Well, come on, Diane. You're my sister. Come
Tell
on.
him.
Yeah, we told
Tell
him.
him.
I told him. I
He won't
promised.
sort him out.
Mommy, I told you. I promised you.
You promised me you would sort him out.
You've seen my mum, what she said.
I know, but
All
he's
right.
not taking any notice.
He will.
Is
He will. He will. He will.
He will.
He will.
Said we can take her tomorrow.
He will.
Right.
He will.
He will.
Yes.
Yeah. We haven't come all this way.
Of course.
Just for 2 weeks
Of
out
course.
of all
Of
her
course.
life.
Of course. Not just those 2 weeks.
No.
We want Diane to come more.
Yeah, so he has got
We
to...
want Diane to come more to see us.
So he
She
has
knows
got
that
to
she's a
do
member of the
something then,
family.
hasn't he?
That's enough.
That's enough.
Okay.
Who is Sumaya's mother?
This
You.
is Sumaya's mother.
Sumaya will stay with you for the rest of 2 weeks. Nobody will interrupt you of seeing her these 2 weeks.
No, I mean,
He
I
would
think
not
it's good for her
come.
to spend the night with the
He
family.
would not come to the village anymore because you
No,
are
I don't know.
entitled
We
to
don't
see her.
want to do that.
I don't mind him being around. I just want.
We
to
just
be
want
there
a
on
few
my own.
hours on our
You will
own.
do that. I can promise you. I am in charge here of this program. I can promise you of doing that from tomorrow.
Well, this morning I had a very difficult meeting with Adil from the High Committee for Children, and he told me that he knows for sure now that the 2 families from Benghazi, that is Sharon Lehman's and Pauline Ibsen's, have skipped off to Egypt.
If the fathers are refused to give the children to the mothers, I have no force to enforce them to do that. We cannot use force against any father.
When you say that you have no power to force the father to bring the child to the mother, in that case, what do you intend to do about the fathers of the children who are not here with their mothers? We have 3 mothers here whose children have not turned up. We were given the impression that you did have the power to get those children here. Are you now saying you don't have the power to get those children here?
ليس بالسلاح لا يمكن أن نشيل السلاح في سبيل نجيب الأب وابن.
I cannot use force and weapons against a father.
Not weapons, we're
and
not
bring the
talking
child.
weapons. The fathers clearly don't want to bring the children because they haven't brought them. So how are you going to get the children here since the fathers obviously don't want the children to come?
فما هي الطريقة المثلى لإحضار الأب هنا أو إحضار الطفل على الأقل؟
هذا موضوعي ومشكلتي وأنا الحل.
This is my problem, I will solve it.
It has been a lot of strain because I've seen the other mothers being very happy
with their children, and a lot of sadness as well, and they're coming to me as a shoulder to cry on, yet I have my own feelings inside, and I'm having to bottle them up to be strong for the other mothers as well.
English statue. English statue. Sophia.
Authentic fish in Benghazi.
In Benghazi. What's this called, Aisha? In English? Snail. Snail. What's it called, Sophia? Snail. Sophia. Mommy, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7, 8. 9, 10. And what's in there in English? Snail. Aisha. No. Snail. Aisha. No. Snail. Snail. I love you, Sophia. I love you, Mommy too. I love you, Aisha. I love you, Mommy too. I love you very much. I love very much, very, 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 very much, very, very much, very, very much, very, very much, very, very much.
Returning from the day trip, Pauline is taken aside by a member of the committee and asked to go with her. For 4 days, Pauline has been waiting, eager for news of her daughter Layla.
No, can Karina come with me? Because Karina helped me get here, as well as, the Libyan government allowing me to be here. I wanted to be here when I leave.
Your daughter not here now. Abla Naima, she wants to see you only, not. That's all.
Naima wants to see her?
Yes.
Right, Naima wants to see you.
Okay, but no, I don't want to keep you.
We've been told that Layla's here, and now they've taken Pauline away. We were told a couple of days ago by a member of the committee that Layla doesn't actually want to see her mother. This stems from a couple of years ago when our man in the British interest section visited the family home in Benghazi, and he came away from an interview with Layla satisfied that she didn't want to see her mother again, and filed an official report to that effect. The trouble was the interview took place in front of her father and in front of a representative of the Libyan authorities. A couple of days ago when we discussed it, when he said if Layla doesn't want to come to see her mother, I said, Pauline has a right to see that her daughter is happy and fit and well. If Layla doesn't want to see her, then Layla has to come here, if only once, and just say to Pauline, Mum, get off my back, I don't want to see you. But she's got to hear it from Layla. If that's going to happen tonight, then for all we know, Layla will be taken away again.
Pauline's meeting with Layla has taken place in private. The Libyans feared she might be shocked by Layla's appearance. Now 16, Layla is required by her family to wear hijab, the head-to-toe dress of a strict Muslim woman. But Layla will be staying.
This is Karina. I've just told her all about you and how you helped us to come here. Oh, and I want to thank you, it was real. Thanks.
It's great to see you, Layla.
Yeah. This is Sharon. She's got a son and a daughter in Benghazi. She's still waiting for them. Are they?
No, I haven't heard any news.
I hope they'll come.
Yeah, I hope they will. But we're glad you're here now.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for supporting me, while I was waiting. Otherwise.
Oh yeah, we knew it would happen. I told you, just stick it out, it'll work. It'll happen sooner or later.
3 years ago, Pauline tried unsuccessfully to smuggle Layla out of the country.
How often do you think that you would be allowed to call your mum?
For 3 years, I didn't call her. I would like at least once a week or once.
At least once a week. Do you think he'll take you once a week?
I don't know.
He doesn't see you.
Well, we can ask him. I mean,
yeah.
If we ask him, then if he's happy about that. So we need to ask him if Layla can make a call from the post office once a week to you.
And also to be allowed to send letters would be really good. Layla's never been allowed to send any letters to me.
Lots of things that I can't have here. And they're normal things. I'm not asking for a lot. Just ask to be like a normal person, that's all. I'm not allowed to like go to my friend's house that much. So I would like to go to my friend's house. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, go to the English school. There's nothing wrong with it.
I'd like to go to the shops. You're not allowed to go. And she was a shopping addict when she was little with me.
So they're normal things, then I can't have them. My grandparents, even if you talk to them, they don't understand. And even that, they're not that good to me. So I can't talk to them, and my dad doesn't come, and I don't go out, so it's nobody.
So I'm going to try and help Layla to be here. If I keep up regular contact with her, her life will be much better, because she will have somebody to talk to then, and it is important.
Well, excuse me, I've got a severe behaviour problem with my children. I must speak to someone. I need these children to see a psychologist.
We ask Aden about the point.
Okay, because it's going to take a long time. I have a lot to say about my children's behaviour.
No. For 5 or 10 minutes. Exactly.
Well, I do my best, but I have a lot to say about my children. What time in the morning, please? What time in the morning, please? Here, put this on there. Stop it! Here, put this on now. I'm a good boy today. I find the behaviour extremely worrying. Aisha cries uncontrollably for hours on end. Stand up now. Good girl, sit down, we'll get you dressed. There. Sophia can also be extremely worrying with her behaviour, especially in the dining room. I know she's only 6, but she's kind of jumping all over the chair, banging the cutlery. You know, they seem to have no manners whatsoever. They're just totally uncontrollable. Omar's taken on the role of a father. If the girls are naughty, he hits them too frequently. In the morning, he tends to dress them, brush their hair. I put it down to the father's influence. I haven't had Sophia since she's been 22 months old, and in fact, she is the worst, and it can only be the father's influence.
I mean, we are decent, we are Muslims. It's something inside us. I know you wouldn't understand as Christian or whatever you are. I mean, honestly, I could die for my children. I left the good life in England because of these 3 children. You come and telling me now they disturbed this and that. They're just naughty.
I told you it's not.
These ladies who are coming after the children, they are not coming after the children. All they're coming after, starting with my wife, they're just coming to Libya to have holidays, taste the Libyan food. I can't even say have different men.
Right, eat your egg. Yeah? Finish now. Hala. Good girl now.
Even though Hisham's not well since yesterday, his father insisted on him going back to the house in Garage today, and he's taken both the children. I don't know what time they're coming back or anything. I suspect it's for an interrogation more than anything else. I'm just waiting now for them to come back.
The son's taken Omar to the mosque, so maybe he'll be back in about 2 hours.
Yeah, because they'll be doing Friday prayer, won't they? At 1:30. And then they may have gone back for something to eat with the family there.
That's 1 till 2.
Well, when I went, my dad had a little headache, and he asked me, why don't you like Libya? I've done everything to make you happy. And he started to talk to me about, well, Libya's better, it's got Muslims in here, And if you go to England, you'll be a bad man, you'll be a Christian, and I don't want you to be like a Christian. And then I had enough and I said, oh, I don't like it in Libya, I don't want to live anymore in Libya, and I hate my nana's house, I hate Libya, and I just want to go. I've been 4 years in Libya, sad, without a dad and a mum, and I don't know what I'm going to do. So he started to cry and said, well, I've got your English passport and I've got your Libyan passport, and you can do what you want with them. And then he just went away.
That's the spare of the moment. You're gonna know. I mean, pushing me now on something I said on the spare of the moment. Something come out of the blue. My child suddenly tells me he doesn't like it here. Just like that, snap. Something comes out of the blue. I didn't expect that. I expect my child will be happy to see his mother and spend all the 3 weeks with her and have a lovely time with her in this lovely village and all this hospitality and food and whatever and see. And suddenly something comes up like that. I said, well, what's happened to the lad? What's happened to him?
He married and he's never lived with me from that day. And I only see him on Thursdays or when he comes to see his mum.
I think Hisham had been brainwashed for the last 10 days. That annoyed me, you know. What happened the last 10 days? Because I was asked before you arrived, the group arrived, have I got any restriction? I said, I have no restriction on the children to stay with their mother at all. They can stay with her all that period. They've got my full parent. I didn't know after that they're going to come up with that story. My child is not, is unhappy. That's amazing.
We've got a great lawyer. Where's Patricia? We saw the lawyer last night. We've got a meeting with him again at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. So we'll take Sharon tomorrow evening. But basically he doesn't think it's going to be any problem at all doing court orders for access visits twice a year. And you should be able to stay in a hotel, flat, house, and it should be unsupervised access, as far as we can tell. For Denise and for you, Wendy, we're going to go for custody.
He made some very, very encouraging noises when we were asking about custody. He said, yes, it is entirely possible that all the rules that we've been told don't apply in cases of neglect or anything like that. So he said there's a good chance.
Oh, that's good. What, you mean custody to come home to England?
Yeah, complete custody.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's
He was
fantastic.
so positive.
What do you think about that?
Your own lawyer, 12 years old.
It's good, isn't it? Yeah, it's funny.
I'm packing my boxes now because there's only 3 days left before we go home. And the children still haven't come, and I don't believe that they will come now, and the committee have promised me that they will take the toys and clothes to the children so that they know that I've been here. I want them to know that I have been here, even if the father hasn't told them. That's really breaking my heart, actually, because I wanted to give them to them myself, for them to understand how to play the different games and things, and I'm just so unhappy. I just don't know what to do with myself.
Hey, Stanley.
Is it ready?
Is it ready? It's ready.
It's not ready yet.
Why do you need the flashes outside?
No, because I can't explain to her that you can take a photo.
I can see she's happy, and I've got to accept that. But I'll still never really forgive him for taking her. And I feel I've lost a grandchild. I've got others back home, but I shall never have her again. I don't know whether I shall ever see her again.
Well, it'd be a lot easier for me, having seen her now as she is, because I only remembered her as that 2.5-year-old who still needed her mummy. And the pain of that, you know, of talking to her on the phone when she was just taken and hearing her in the background saying, I want my mummy, you know. It's unbearable. And now I'll be able to go back home and know that she doesn't really need me. It hurts, but at least she doesn't need me. And that's best for her. So she's happy. So I've got to be happy, you know.
They're just easy. It's better than I expected, actually. When I go back, I will feel like I've been their mum for 3 weeks here, whereas if I see them in the family home, I don't have that control, and I just feel like a visitor when I go there. So I'm just hoping that something like this will happen again, because this is the best access visit I've ever had.
He's already told you when he came, try and keep this woman away from me. He doesn't want me here at all. In April. And he said to me then, don't come here, in the house. And he told me not to come. He told me not to come for another year. And I said, that's not right.
Pat has made contact with her ex-husband's family, but neither he nor her daughter can be traced.
I'm not saying make it, you know, Sunday.
I thought we'd come a long way, but the last couple of days, I've just got a feeling that when we leave, we're just going to be forgotten again, basically. Everything started, you know, I feel really under pressure at the moment. I feel really stressed.
I've talked to my dad about I want to go to England and I don't like Libya. And my mum as well has talked to him, so I think we've done some pressure on him, and I think maybe he'll say okay. I don't speak English.
You say to me.
Sleep with honey. Sit down with honey, and I am coming. Yeah.
Yes, but you asked me to get your
My
cake.
father, he asked me.
The cake.
Yes.
I want to leave Aisha alone. Did you pass on the cake?
No.
You want this case back?
Doesn't. Yes, Mummy. Yes,
All right,
Mummy.
okay.
I go and I am coming after coming.
To take the case?
I am a swim.
Right, and you take the case after?
Yeah.
Omar's case?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. Well, the case on here.
Naima told me she's extremely concerned about the behaviour problems of my children. She agrees they're mentally disturbed. I asked her what's the best thing to do for the children, and one suggestion was that she would obtain a house for me, obtain custody through the courts, and I could live here with the children so they have some stability. She's doing her utmost to help from her heart, and I think she really wants to help each individual case, but some of the cases are more difficult than others.
All the best, and we'll see you again next year. Yeah, we will. Don't worry, you'll be here. Well, at least the committee have done something for all of us, and we're going to all be together again next year.
And it won't be like 3 years.
No. It'll go really quickly, you see. I know it's hard, but time will go.
Take it.
Wendy leaves with the distant hope that legal action in Libya might one day bring Hisham home. Christine has made progress with her ex-husband. Future access has been promised.
Excuse me, they will come with us to the hydrometer.
Denise is going home to consider the Libyan offer that will allow her to live here with her children.
I love you. I love you.
I'll come back in August no matter what. Nothing's going to stop me, okay? So if this doesn't work, I come to Benghazi and I get you myself. But I'm sure your dad loves you and he'll bring you here so that we can be together, all right, just for that time. It's the least he can do. Layla. God.
Sharon never saw her two children. She doesn't know if she will ever see them again.